going to show y'all now is one of my favorite summertime treats. Around here we call them a mouse melon, but they're actually a wild cucumber. A lot of people get them confused for a cucamelon, but these are not a cucamelon. A cucamelon has stripes, a mouse melon has spots. They are in the same family though. This is what their flower looks like. Hang on, there it is. That's the flower. This is the leaf. It's kind of grape-like. And it has tendrils. It's a trailing wild cucumber. You can see what the seeds look like. Just like cucumber. I'll show you something else here. They don't get very big, but this one is slowly beginning to turn dark. It begins to turn from the blossom end on the bottom. It'll go from dark green to black. These normally come out around August. I always see them in August, and they turn black pretty quick. So you want to check your vines literally every day, and you can't really predict what size they're going to be when they start to turn, when they're ready to pick. Some of them they'll turn when they're small. Some of them they'll wait till they're a little bigger, about thumb size, before they start to turn. But I like to pick them when they're this size. They usually don't get any bigger than this. About the size of my thumb. These are great to eat during the summer when you want to alleviate dehydration, because they're nothing but water. This is one of the few raw edibles we have in Oklahoma, and I love to snack on them in the summertime. I just pick them off the vine and eat them. Anyway, I'm going to eat one of these for y'all, just to show you. I do eat them all the time. They taste just like a cucumber. That's what they are. They are a wild cucumber. They're not a cucamelon. I ate 2 of these dark ones, and 30 minutes later I experienced a loosening of the bowels, but it was no worse than what I would normally experience from a cup of coffee. I have IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, and I've had worse diarrhea than that from eating barbecue sauce. So I think these causing real bad diarrhea is an old wives' tale that was started by someone who is particularly sensitive to it, or maybe they ate too many of them. I don't know, but they don't taste very good. They have a really strange texture and flavor. I don't recommend eating them. These green ones are a gentle laxative. I can eat a handful of them, and 12 hours later I'm having a bowel movement with no cramps. After I pick these, I clean them up and rinse them off. They're going to have these dead blossoms left on the end sometimes, so I just pick this off, make sure they're nice and clean. Now I'm going to toss out my dirty water. The chemical responsible for the bitterness, the tartness, or the metallic taste in wild food is oxalic acid. Baking soda is an alkali that neutralizes oxalic acid. So before I cook any wild food that contains oxalic acid, I soak it in baking soda and water. My general rule of thumb is a heaping tablespoon of baking soda to a bottle of water. That's 16 ounces. Use non-reactive substances like plastic, glass, stainless steel, or pottery that doesn't contain lead in it. This is also a good time to check your cucumbers and make sure there aren't any that are squishy. I'll show you. See, it doesn't matter what color they are. If they're soft and squishy like this, take them out because they're starting to turn. They can be dark and squishy, or they can be light and squishy. Color doesn't matter. You need the feel of them. Regardless of the size or color, a good cucumber should be firm to the touch, and it should crunch when you bite into it. So all of these should be about the same firmness. It can have just a little bit of give to it, but it shouldn't be soft. If you can firmly rub it between your fingers, it's okay. If you got one of these soft ones, you rub it between your fingers, it's gonna give. After they've soaked long enough in the baking soda, I'm going to put them in the strainer and I'm going to take them to the sink and rinse the baking soda off of them. You can make wild pickles with saved juice from store-bought pickles, or you can make your own. And I'll give you a little tip. If you make them spicy, they make a great bar snack. These are refrigerator pickles, and there's more than one way to make them. You can use any pickle recipe to make these. There's also a hot processing method where you heat the juice on a stove top or in the microwave, or there's the cold processing method where you mix it up in the jar, shake it up, and you're done. You can leave the ingredients in or take them out with a strainer. The way I like to do that is to put a coffee filter in a strainer and strain the juice through the coffee filter, and it takes all of the flavorings out of it. Because if you heat the juice with the flavoring ingredients, that vinegar is going to absorb all of those flavorings, and then after the ingredients have done their job, you don't need them anymore. So you can strain them out, or you can leave them in. That's usually the fast method, is to put the ingredients in a jar and then put the pickles in, pour the vinegar over them, shake them up, you're done. Most people prefer that method. I'm making sweet pickles with my cucumbers, so I'm going to need celery seed, mustard seed, ground turmeric, and some onions, sugar, vinegar, and kosher salt. You really don't need very much salt in pickles. The purpose of the salt is a preservative along with the vinegar. I've got about 1 1/4 cups of vinegar in here. I heated this in the microwave on the beverage setting so it wouldn't get too hot, and I chose a number 2. Yeah, when it asks you for how many beverages you want, you choose 1, 2, 3, etc. I chose 2 to make sure it was good and steaming hot. And now I'm going to put the sugar in it. You don't want to heat sugar in a microwave. Sugar and corn syrup both are like napalm. This stuff just gets way too hot. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator to let it cool off. And in the meantime, I'm going to prepare my onions. I don't have any real secret to getting the skins off these onions, but when I cut a slit down the onion like this, it makes it easier for the onion to absorb the brine. When I fill these up, I like to get them within a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch of the lip of this glass jar. Well, these are the pickles I've made. One's got red onions in it and the other one's got yellow and white onions. Now if you look at these real close, they turn an olive color after they've brined. I kindly remade these a little bit to add some onions to them, but these have already been sitting in the refrigerator for a good couple of weeks, and they've brined pretty well. These are the fresh ones I just made. They're still a bright green. Well, here's my pickles, y'all. They've been in the fridge about a week. I'm going to take out these onions because they're not ready yet. These are the ones I redid. They're good. Still prefer them raw though. You can do anything with these that you can do with the cucumber. Eat them raw, pickle them, use them in a salad, use them to make Greek gyro sauce. Whatever you want to do with them, knock yourself out. Well, bye y'all.